Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Going to be checking in on the normal names along with Bitcoin Cash, Neo, Ripple, ADA, EOS, IoT, PPT, and there will be animals at the end of the video, don't worry. Happy Earth Day to everybody. Hopefully people are out there doing something, putting something in the ground, picking up some trash, and let's get into it. What I am watching and what I look at whenever I'm following the cryptocurrency space, which is pretty much 24/7, I always know what time frame is the most clear setup that I'm watching so that whenever I want to check in, I just look at that time frame. And right now it's Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame, and this is obviously on GDAX where we have our high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. In this tightening range that's been playing out all day today, and the current range is 8,865 support and 8,961 resistance. So that is the range that we are currently watching, and we are looking for a break sometime in the next few hours, which is going to dictate momentum overnight tonight. So now we're going to zoom out and just look at the daily chart for most names. Going to go a little bit quicker just because we have so many names to go through, not look at the weekly time frame. So we had a bit of an indecision candlestick yesterday, and by the time it closed, it was a spinning top. And now we have an indecision doji, which is an inside bar currently forming. So the bottom line is we have indecision where we stand right now, and we could absolutely see that pattern that I just pointed out break in either direction. If we get a bull break, I'm going to be in the same scenario where I'm not really going to be jumping at the opportunity to try and play that bull break because I do not think there's going to be a ton of upside. That being said, I might take a stab at it and make an entry if that setup is very clear and we do get a bull break and there's some nice bull volume behind it. But I would keep my time frame for the trade shorter term and look to lock in profit on the initial bull break on the way up. The next resistance that we're looking at is 9,174 if we do see continuation. And again, just a short-term mindset for me as a bull because we have seen 4 green days in a row and we are due for just healthy consolidation. You can see volume has been declining and drying up over the last couple of days. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, it's almost a bit of a descending, or I should say an ascending triangle pattern where we have our horizontal resistance, and wherever you put it, you know, some people put it at the top of the real bodies of the candlestick. Some people would use the wicks, but either way, there's a resistance zone where we keep pulling back from the low $9,000 range. The price is struggling to stay above 9,000, but we also still have a couple higher lows that we're watching as the range continues to tighten. So a support level there, and the most recent support, 8,800. That's the most recent higher low on the 4-hour time frame. Hourly chart, you can see the choppy back and forth action, which was just shown on the 15-minute time frame with more detail, and we're looking for a break of that range. With the bull break, not many resistances until we head to higher highs. With a bear break, we're looking down at the higher lows that have been established on this 4-hour time frame. This is currently the 1-hour time frame, but these are the lines that I drew from support on the 4-hour time frame. That's where we're going to be looking at these 3 levels if we see a bear break of this 15-minute pattern. So that's where we stand on Bitcoin. Now let's check in on Ethereum, which is time and time again. There we go. That's my chart from this morning on TradingView. ETH bulls continue to outshine. And again, thanks everybody for the TradingView love. Still on the #1 spot for the last couple days, and that's definitely because of you all jumping and adding us and watching the charts. So Ethereum with the bull break and continuation, it was a bearish reversal, hanging man candlestick, but really when you see a bearish reversal candlestick on the daily time frame at the top of an uptrend, I always say that you need to zoom in for the details. We need to know, are we losing higher lows? And the answer for Ethereum is no. We have not lost 4-hour higher lows at this point for, I think, over a week. And let's see, the last time it was lost, I would say back on April. It's been a long time. It's been multiple weeks. So back on April 9th. So that's very impressive. 2 weeks of 4-hour higher lows remaining intact, and that's still the case. So while yesterday you look at the daily chart, you know, if I were trying to do some, trying to censor my language, if I was trying to do some half-bummed analysis, we would be looking at, I would say, okay, bearish reversal candlestick, and that's it. But if I want to zoom in and say, Well, we haven't broken the uptrend yet, so the bulls definitely still have momentum in their favor, and I'm not going to be trusting that bearish reversal candlestick unless we lose the higher low patterns, which again have not been lost. So here's another example though where Ethereum, the entire bounce the last 2 weeks, it has outshined Bitcoin, and it continues to do so. The fact that we're hitting higher highs shows yet again that we're seeing more strength and big time follow through on this move. The bull MACD cross on the 4-hour time frame just followed through again, and it keeps putting us in a scenario where even if we see a bear break of Bitcoin and we start to lose support there, Ethereum is not going to lose this 4-hour higher low pattern anytime soon. So it gives the bulls extra breathing room. The bullish moves in Bitcoin are seen stronger in Ethereum. The bearish moves in Bitcoin are seen less weak in Ethereum. So it's holding up. And the hourly time frame continues to show that, just stair-stepping our way up. So if we want to use the most recent support level, we're looking at 629. And if we want to look a little bit longer term, we're looking on the 4-hour chart. Anything above 590 keeps the bulls in control with higher lows. So very clearly, ETH is still a shining star on this move and is not in a scenario like Bitcoin is. Here's the 15-minute time frame. Just continued higher lows and higher highs, whereas Bitcoin is in that tightening pattern we just showed. Litecoin on the opposite end of the spectrum, the weakest of the big three. Inside bar is very likely to form today on the daily time frame, and it just shows us the 4-hour chart where we pulled back so significantly. The ability of the bulls to head to a higher high is limited because of how much it would require to get back to that level where we were at the top of this bounce. So we have Bitcoin forming a 15-minute equilibrium pattern, and Litecoin is forming its own tightening pattern. But even if Bitcoin were to break bullish and break to a higher high, that would still, where we are positioned, Litecoin would probably still be a laggard play on that move. So it pulled back more significantly on consolidation. Is the exact opposite as Ethereum. So Bitcoin's in the middle. Ethereum is seeing everything slightly more bullish than Bitcoin, and Litecoin is seeing everything slightly more bearish than Bitcoin. And looking at the shorter term time frames, the hourly chart, we are tightening up here. Let's see if it looks like the 15-minute of Bitcoin, and it does, nice and clear. Higher lows, lower highs in this tightening range, and looking for a break. Right now the range is 148.71, and resistance is 151.08. That's what we're watching. So that's the big three. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash, which also has been leading the way to the upside with Ethereum. A little bit of money goes a long way here. We are way overbought. I would absolutely be looking to short BCH. I know they have a fork coming up. I don't know the details as to when. That is definitely important to know if you are looking to short Bitcoin Cash. I personally am not. So we are looking at a very overbought move. The RSI is approaching 80 on the daily time frame. The 4-hour RSI did cool off, but it's still up there high. And if I were looking to play a name bearish on Bitcoin making a bearish break, I would be keeping an eye on BCH. I would either choose Litecoin or BCH personally. 4-hour bearish reversal candlestick, a doji is forming, and the hourly chart still holding higher lows. So that's another example. If I only look at the 4-hour chart, I say, okay, bearish reversal doji, I'm going to go short. But if I go to the hourly time frame, I can see, well, we haven't lost the higher low pattern yet. We are still in a bullish uptrend. So the little details by zooming in can give us more information. We could have that same 4-hour candlestick and have lost the hourly higher lows or still be holding them. It all depends on the specific setup. And in this instance, it is still holding the higher low pattern with support of 1217.72. Next support after that, 1160. Current resistance is 1259.59, and the next resistance there on the daily chart, not really seeing a whole lot until up here at the 1295 level. So worth watching for a bearish entry, but again, I would only be making a bearish entry if we saw Bitcoin weakness, because we know the correlations, while they vary with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still the backbone of these correlations. Checking out NEO USDT, and this is on Binance. So the daily time frame, we have a solid bull move here as well, and we've established multiple little periods of consolidation before continuation. We had a key break of resistance here, actually. It's not really a clear break at this point, so I'm going to hold off on saying that. It's a double top. We've got 79.80, 79.76, 79.75. So that is a very clear resistance. That is the most clear rejection point and lower high that we have seen. We did have a couple little ones here before the bottom, but that is a clear resistance level that we are currently struggling with. And it's going to be a battle between our support established yesterday and this resistance. So 70.26 to 79.70, 79.80 is the current range that we're watching. 4-hour time frame, still strong, but it is tightening up. And the hourly chart, let's see how tight and clear. Looking like a 15-minute pattern similar to Bitcoin. Let's look at that. And there it is. Nice and clear. You could call this a descending triangle if you want. I wouldn't tell you you're wrong by seeing these 3 touches at this line and the downtrend resistance. is showing the tightening range. So a break is soon. A break is imminent here on NEO USD, and we'll see which direction it breaks, but it's likely going to be the direction that Bitcoin breaks in the same or a similar tightening 15-minute pattern. But overall, looking at the daily chart, just in comparison, remember we use Bitcoin as our benchmark. Whenever we're comparing altcoins, we say, okay, what does the daily chart look on Bitcoin? The high of the Bitcoin bounce from March 21st, we have not broken it. We look at NEO, that's that March 21st high, March 20th, have not broken it, but we're at that level. So slightly more bullish than Bitcoin, but essentially in the same boat on the daily time frame. Ripple. So Ripple on the daily time frame is looking strong as well, still in control. Multiple daily inside bars are forming, so we know a break is imminent as it gets tighter and tighter. Likely tomorrow we will break these inside bars. And let's see again, just a reminder that Bitcoin level is March 21st that we're watching for comparison. So where were we on March 21st? And Ripple has already broken that level. So the broke resistance a few days ago over that point, and now seeing continuation. So stronger than where Bitcoin stands in its pattern. The 4-hour time frame shows the tightening range, 4-hour inside bars, daily inside bars, just a day of consolidation today. And it looks like we did break bearish of this 15-minute pattern. But again, I would take any signal on an individual coin with a grain of salt if Bitcoin has not broken this pattern yet. So if we see the same setup on Bitcoin and individual coins, it's worth noting that the individual coins break in a certain direction. But in terms of being a clear signal, we can very easily see a fake out where if, Ripple were to break bearish here, but then Bitcoin breaks bullish, we're going to see a quick turnaround in Ripple and a fake out because the bulls are going to be back in control in correlation with Bitcoin. So definitely have to be watching both, but an initial bear break on the short-term pattern currently on Ripple. And watch those daily inside bars. ADA, high of March 21st, we're well above that level. So bulls getting nice follow through, higher lows and higher highs. Building support on the way up is what's important. And you can remember when we were in the downtrend, the bulls' moves would get crushed very quickly. And when we would pull back from those bull moves, they would be significant. And we're not really seeing that now. We're seeing stair steps higher, building support on the way up. 4-hour chart, same as all of these are looking. The correlation has picked up in these names, it looks like, with the spike in volume and interest and volatility and bullish action over the last week. But it's the same pattern here. We look at the 15-minute time frame, and it's a little bit different in the sense that it did also break bearish, but same story. As long as Bitcoin's holding on, we're going to be looking for the bulls to attempt to hold on here as well. We're testing key support down at the lows. Let's look longer term. 4-hour time frame on ADA, higher low is 275. So that's the first thing I'm looking on everything, because the 4-hour higher lows have been holding for so many days in a row. I always want to know, do we still have that pattern on any individual coin? Are 4-hour higher lows holding? And the answer to all of these coins so far is yes, they are. And it's going to require changing that for the bears to get any kind of traction on some daily consolidation. So that support 275 is right there, and then support below it 268. So those are the two support levels to be watching. Resistance is 296, and then the high of the bull move up at 31. EOS USD, starting on the daily, comparing it to Bitcoin, much stronger. So we've been building support and seeing continuation for weeks at this point. This is a very nice uptrend. Love this higher low build here, a bull flag with continuation, and we are looking now hitting levels that we were not at since back in February. So this is a very significant bull move, and checking it out on the weekly time frame, you can see support established, and in 5 weeks, look at those inside bars and the bull break follow through from those weekly inside bars. Significant bull move and a lack of resistance before we make our way towards that all-time high. Potential for an equilibrium if we can't hit a new all-time high and we begin to consolidate, but it's definitely one of the more favorable weekly charts that we've looked at anytime recently. 4-hour chart, of course, the higher lows are still in control just like everyone else. And I would say that's the most clear level, 1021. You could also use this support here at 1061. And currently a potential bull flag still consolidating on the 4-hour time frame. This is very healthy consolidation. There's no red flags at this point. The bulls are in control of EOS, and that's the best looking weekly chart that we've looked at here so far. IoT USD, this is on Bitfinex. So looking at the daily time frame, well over the high of March 21st, which Bitcoin has not passed yet. And we are building supports on the way up here as well. And we did see continuation today, so that's a difference between Bitcoin. 4-hour higher lows easily intact. The most important support for me is 1805, and the bulls are attempting to form a higher low at 196 or 197 if we round. And where do we stand on the 15-minute time frame? Healthy consolidation, not exactly correlated to Bitcoin as significantly as a lot of other names, but there's no red flags here either. As long as we hold 4-hour higher lows, the bulls keep control of these trends. And I was looking for potential of a bear break yesterday, but obviously not acting on anything because we never lost higher lows on Bitcoin. So I am still currently all cash, but that's probably not going to change anytime soon. Let's wrap it up with PPT BTC. This is a beautiful pattern. Just when you see something get this tight, you know a break is imminent. It doesn't matter what direction it breaks if you have your trade set up. And, if you're looking for a bull break, then you only buy if we get a break of resistance of 1865. And then from there, we had huge follow through. But it just got tight to the point where we have to see a break. It's just an equilibrium, tighter and tighter for a month playing out, and a huge spike. So zooming in on the 4-hour time frame, higher lows are still intact, but they're in jeopardy here. I would say key support looking at 293 and 29 even. And the most important support is here at 274, because if that breaks, there's a lack of support down here. You can see these consolidation ranges have support, and if we lose that low of 2748, there's a lack of support nearby. So I will always, if I'm shorting a stock or whatever I'm shorting, I will look for plays that have a cliff, so to speak, where there's no support after a certain area because the bulls ran up too fast. That happens in gap up scenarios sometimes for stocks, but that's definitely something to note. Lots of space before the next support level. So that's where we stand. One last check-in on the 15-minute time frame. By the time this upload gets going on the slow internet, we'll probably be just close to breaking this 15-minute time frame. And again, that's going to dictate some short-term momentum into tonight. I appreciate you watching. Continue to do those good things. As I'm moving out of my place, I've got a couple friends in town that I've been friends with it for a decade. And these are people from college that really have helped shape who I am today in terms of their generosity and selflessness that I didn't know that really exist for people. And I went back to my high school friends after meeting these guys in college, and it was just like, wow, there's something missing here. And it's just this complete selflessness and knowing that we have each other's backs. But anyways, they've been hooking me up, with everything, and just knowing that someone's always there for the last decade. And as I leave, I want to give them, money. One of them's starting a family, has a kid, and just want to gift things to them. But they're the kind of people that would never, ever accept it. So it's almost like this fun challenge where I have to come up with ways to be able to hide. Literally in college, I used to have to go into their rooms and hide money for them to accept it. So it's this fun little Easter egg game, but just very grateful to have the opportunity to be able to do those things for the people that, I love and that deserve it. So that's definitely a driving motivation for me. It gets to the point where you say, how much money do you need? And I absolutely agree with that. Once your needs are met, there's no reason to continue hoarding it. But when you're using it as this, energy source, and you can move it around and it comes and it goes, and it's definitely very motivating to know that is a use for funds. So I appreciate you watching. Here's some goats and donkeys.